Okay, we're ready.
We are on.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. It is June 3rd, 2026, 6:01 PM. Roll call, please.
Patrick Kale, Jim Weisman,
Here.
Ryan Goodspeed,
Here.
Casey Dick,
Here.
Fred Toby,
Here.
Kyle LaSheen,
Here.
and Jack Beckley.
Here. Calendar of upcoming events. Next scheduled commissioners meeting is Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 8:30. Next scheduled county council regular meeting will be Wednesday, July 8th, 2026 at 6 PM. And of note, the courthouse will be closed on the 4th of July and also Friday on July 3rd. Right?
It's not 4th of July
I
Saturday.
see what I'm doing.
Sorry. I should put
Okay,
Independence Day.
sure. Adoption of meeting minutes for the regularly held meeting on May 6th, 2026, as presented or amended. Give everybody a second to review. Pretty lengthy.
Make the motion to approve as presented.
Yeah. That motion was the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jim Weisman, what's the second? All in favor? 5. Anybody wants to talk about IT support plan on the agenda for tonight?
That help. Talk about.
Public comment. Okay, we have nothing for council action tonight, is that correct?
Mm-mm.
Non-action matters, information. Mr. Holden, you wanna come up and talk about your support plan for 2027?
Lisa, thank you. Folks, you have, you got, within the proposal there, then the folder, we're gonna skip all the preliminary. Please, when you get a chance, find that page in there, about halfway back in the proposal on the right hand side there. I'll give you a little, just so you have a little history. I'm Al Holden with Lead Managed IT based out of Muncie. Just so you have some history on the company, 90 years there, third generation. The Thomas brothers now own that company. We have 161 IT managed IT clients, really all throughout central Indiana. Some are all over the country just because they have offices in different places. 50 plus employees. So I think door to door, it's about 24 minutes, I think, from one of the main offices. We had 2 offices in Indianapolis, but our main office that started in Muncie is still there. With that report, and I apologize to the commissioners, it's a little bit of a rinse and repeat from Monday. And Lisa, sorry you have to hear it twice. That is what we call a stoplight report. We did a walkthrough, and thank you to the team for doing that. And thank you, Ms. Coons, for taking some time to walk us through, and your facility manager, the young lady that managed the facility, is phenomenal. She knew every corner and everything that was going on. With that, here's the thing: as you're spending money, you need to spend money appropriately. And the reality is, anything that's there that is in the green, any of those green areas, we don't spend money on. Anything that's yellow, you can kick that can down the road a little bit. Okay, I mean, it's okay. Let's worry about it when it's time to worry about it. And the areas that are in the red are the areas that you need to concentrate on, and really are areas that you're at risk. And usually a lot of risk comes with emails, lack of backups. And we'll show you some photographs here, a little bit of some spaghetti that's not that needs to be unspaghettied a little bit with that. But here's the biggest thing, especially with everything going on that you guys have, that you're facing right now, both at the county level, city level. Planning, meetings, budgeting, they're going to be more critical probably the next 3-4 years than it ever has been. And what the one thing that we saw that you really don't have, there's no plan. There's no plan for upgrades. There's no plan for just sitting down and meeting with the council and the county commissioners and saying, hey, here's what's going on. Here's some things you ought to think about Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, 27, 28. And then also so you can budget and put numbers in place to fix that. You've got an old system. You've got some things, you got some infrastructure, the core infrastructure has a little age to it. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. Doesn't mean you gotta go replace it today, but somebody needs to set that plan up that knows what needs to be done and what needs to be replaced. And again, it's just bits and pieces of it. You can pull it out and you replace them as you can afford them, as you can do that, but you need a written plan. You need someone saying, hey, here's what's going to go on in the first 90 days that we work with you, next 90 days, next year, next 5 years. It's just going to be critical that you go do that. And that's one of the things that you don't have. That same day service, here's the reality is, again, 24 minutes away. Most things can be solved. They're going to have ticketing on all, if you would choose us, you would have ticketing on every computer where someone can call in. Now, there's two things. You don't want to burn up hours with something that's a little silly. It might be the same thing happening in a couple different places. So it may be that you appoint the facilities manager, puts those tickets in and combines them. So when you start picking off hours, you're not picking off. You get 3 or 4 things done at the same time. We can deal with that. That's, who's in charge. Does it come through, get another job? Does it come through Lisa's office? Does it come through somebody that can manage that? And we'll work with them. We want to be very cognizant of the time, because that's how you pay. You pay by time. You pick how many hours you're gonna serve, how many pick them off. Let's use that time efficiently. I think there's a way to go do that. And then here's the thing, the other thing is reliability. Who's going to show up? Who's going to get those phone calls? And if we can't solve it over the phone, I'd tell you that 85% of the issues are solvable over the phone. They're usually not catastrophic. They're just simple things. Someone's going to call immediately. When they call in or you send a ticket in, somebody's getting the phone, you're going to get a phone call pretty darn quick. And I'm talking not within days, we're talking within hopefully minutes or hours. That worst case. And hey, what's going on? Oh, let's just drive. That's not a big deal. We'll just reset that and move down the road with that. Those are the critical things. Those are the things right now that you really need to have. And in some conversations, some of the things you're just not getting with email issues and those kind of things. Those are not big issues. Here's the thing. You should drive the ship. We should not be driving the ship. We should be an advisor to you. And then you direct us as far as how far and how much you want to steer that ship. If you don't want to steer it, we will steer it, but we steer it with permission, not with godlike authority. Just because we're in the IT business doesn't mean we need commissioners, you need counsel to come and say, hey, here's where we want to go. Can you give us a plan to get there? And the answer is yes. So you have some, to find out who we work with. We do all of Jake County. We do all of Randolph County. We do the city of Winchester, city of Muncie, city of Eaton. We have you flanked on the south and to the east a little bit. Geographically, this county makes a lot of sense to us. So are we more interested as an old Eaton kid, because I lived in your suburb, I grew up in the suburb of Eaton, of Hartman City. So with all that said, this is where we live. This is where we're going to plant our flag. I guarantee you our reputation is better than anybody else you'll ever talk to. These guys have been around for a long time. They don't have all these clients because they're not good at what they know. I have met Mr. Beckley. I met here just a little bit ago. Just for full disclosure, I've known Jim since I was in high school. So mother-in-law and Becky taught together at Delta Middle School for 20 years. So there's some connection. I don't want Jim Weisman not to like me. That would be really
You have about 20-year reading coming up.
Go to that next page. That is really just a reference. And right now, I did not talk about Jefferson County. We are in Jefferson County. Literally, we have 5 guys that have been down there for a week. They'll be there for 3 or 4 more days, just doing onboarding. So we're onboarding. We just took them over, and just in that process, we had a couple others that we're having conversation with. That's really all it is as far as that page. Next page, guys. is the pictures. Those all need to be cleaned up. Here's the thing. We took pictures of them, we looked at them, we had a couple of the smart guys with us, and they looked at me and I said, so what goes to what? He goes, how would we know? He goes, we know what the equipment is, we know but as far as what specifically, if you pulled one of those wires out, what does it shut down? And the reality is, you have areas that are, some areas that are, you have to rank them by what's critical. And the reality is, any department I don't mention will say, well, you don't think we're critical. It's not the case. Sheriff's Department's pretty critical. You get sheriff auditor's office, like if you'd like to get paid, that sheriff's office that likes to get, likes to be taken care of. We can't have those guys hanging out there. And they will jump. If it comes down to A or B, we will rank them if we have to, just to make sure those things are going on. A lot of emergency services are pretty critical going on. These are all things that would be cleaned up, and it would be project work. But let me explain that. When you see the proposal, we'll give you a proposal and it'll say 50 hours. Anything can happen. You can cut hours back to cut monthly bills back. What we propose to you is what we think is appropriate in relevant size. And to be honest with you, at some point we're guessing a little bit, but we know what kind of time we're spending in Jay County and what kind of time we're spending in Randolph County. And yours is a little bit under that because that's where you are size wise. We try to right size it, and say, hey, here's what we think is appropriate. That doesn't mean that when we set a plan and then we get a year down the road with you, that we sit down in one of those planning meetings and go, to be honest with you, you probably ought to back up a little bit. I mean, maybe it's only 45 hours and that lessens the blow, but it might be that it's 55 hours. Okay. But I think having some intel right now, we don't have that intel. We can't tell you. We don't know how much time their other company or whoever you're using now is spending. We just tell you what we think is appropriate and what we think will get you protected. The other thing that's out there that you haven't done, the state of Indiana will do a free cyber assessment. Part of what I am pitching to you is that your contract's not up till June of next year. I am not asking and by any means saying, cut the ties, walk away from that contract. That's not fair. If you're going to get played with fair, you need to be fair on the front side also. That's our opinion with it. But we want to be, and we will be 10 hours a month. We're going to be a free consultant for you, and we're going to learn as we go. That gives us some time to spend more time at the Sheriff's Department, and more time talking with each of the departments going, what's your struggles? Because when we come in, we want it to be clean. We don't want anybody talking, I don't want anybody doing this to me in 4 or 5 years. I want the contract as long as I've got 2 contracts in, you guys, in 10 years, I'll have to find you a new rep. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to pull Weisman on you. I'm going to go retire and go do that. But we're going to be around for a while with that. But I think that's really, really important that when you start seeing that somebody starts cleaning these things up. Project work, these things would be project work that we would quote out, and they would probably be on the hours. Now, if all of a sudden we find that we've got some extra hours that we're not using, we'll use those on those projects. But we're going to have that discussion. I think we can say, here's what it's going to take. We think it's going to be maybe only an extra couple hours outside of that. Here's the quote. You approve it. We move forward with that. We don't need to jump them all at one time. The court systems, the Sheriff's Department, these are priorities. Judges do not understand when all of a sudden the Wi-Fi goes down in their courtroom and they have to postpone cases. That's hard on attorneys. That's hard on scheduling. That's just hard on a lot of things. So we'll work on that and we'll work with that. But here's the thing. Still the bottom line is you need to know and you need to direct the ship. You need to tell us, hey, we want to tackle all these. We don't want it to be like this anymore. That's okay. Some counties do that. I would tell you, I don't think that's appropriate use of the money on a consistent basis. I think you do these and we can rank them for you and give you prices on what those things are. If you choose that you want those cleaned up, even while the other contracts are going on, those are things, whether they do it or we do it, it's up and beyond that contract pricing anyway. We can do that, and we're not afraid to jump in and maybe work on that project so that the time next year comes, maybe you have a couple of them picked off. That's budgetary issues that we're not gonna, you'll tell us what to do with that. Going back, a little bit further, one more page. State of Indiana has some free services through the Department of Technology, Indiana Department of Technology, that's free to you. During part of that consultancy, we'll manage that and we'll help initiate those for you. There's a free, they'll come in and do a free assessment. That assessment will be great. And we've seen it. We do it with all the other counties. We use it because it's a free service. No reason to pay us to come and do it, but they'll do it for free. It also gives us a little bit of a battle plan of some things they discovered that maybe we can work on or advise you on, or put it at the top of our priority list when June comes next year. And I think that makes a lot of sense. You might as well take the free information. There's some other CrowdStrike, and there's a couple other programs that they have out there that's free of charge. We can help you implement that. And there's no reason to pay for it. You shouldn't pay for it. Next page. Now we're talking about, in these next couple of pages, and I'm not going to read everything to you, you guys can read these. This is talking about what you should expect from us in the first 90 days, the next 90 days. And you go back to the last page, guys. That's the pain, and that's the dollars. So we're proposing that in that first column there on the left, that's a monthly 50 hours. We think that's probably the appropriate amount of time. You're talking day and a half a week, just trying to solve issues and dealing with things. We think that's appropriate. We don't think it'll be a lot more than that. And here's the thing, we don't cry over spilled milk. If it's 52 hours, you're not getting a bill. We just don't, we track it hard, but if you're going to be friends and you're going to have friends and you're going to make deals, let's try to be appropriate with that. You don't need to be nickel and dime to death. There'll be a one-time onboarding fee that, down at the bottom on the left. With that, you'll have some other associated fees that are not included within your normal contract. Lisa was kind enough. We tried to get we came up with the numbers based upon apples and apples on a redacted contract that we got. So here's like-kind services of what you have. We have not had our tool sets on to do that full deep dive over the course of a year. We say, Al, we're going down the road with you and we're going to make this change come 27. Then we will do that at our expense. We'll put some of those tool sets on. We're going to go make sure that what you're saying, what you're being told you actually have. We'll verify all that, but we just on a one-day walkthrough, we can see pictures and we can just get a basic feel for it. And then also just prepare something from you from that redacted contract. So that is it. That's LEAP in a nutshell. I'm glad to entertain any questions. If you're an IT guy and you're going to get technical on me, I'm going to defer them all and I'm going to connect you with one of our smart guys. But that is not me. I'm just eye candy. Gentlemen, anything?
This
Please.
premier plan,
Yes, sir.
would that be that you would be our total IT person?
That, yes, that is unlimited hours. And that is what some of the other counties have really chosen to go to. You can certainly do that, and that is unlimited. There's no additional. If it goes to 60 hours, if it's 70 hours, that's a total taking care of it. A to Z, not tracking hours whatsoever. The other, the 9,900, we're going to track hours. Now, if we get to 60 hours, and you're going to get a bill, you're going to pay that overreach with that. I don't know if you should do that right now. I'm not trying to not sell something to you. I think you should maybe look at the other plan, and then let's evaluate it over a year. And then let's come back and make an intelligent decision on that. Let's keep the number down a little bit right now. And then if all of a sudden we see right out of the gate that it is, we can have a different conversation. But I think I would, in fairness to you, we can't really make that evaluation. I think that maybe down the road we go and say, hey, let's move to the essential plan. The feel with, as things get more and more technical and as the county grows and you have things going on, that you may need to move to that plan. But we're trying to be frugal with your money too. We want to be we want to be appropriate. We'll be very appropriate with that.
What's the hourly rate after 50? If say we did 60 hours, what's that?
I think it runs $3.12 an hour. I think it's an odd number.
$3,000?
Yeah.
Over 10 hours.
$3.12 an hour?
I believe it's 265, 312. Yeah. IT guys aren't cheap. They all start out a little lot.
You're saying 312 or 3,000?
No, 312. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put 3,000 in a 10 hour.
Yeah.
$300 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just basing it.
I'll fix it on
If
that.
we went to
$300 an hour. Do hours carry over? If we only use 20 hours one month? There's no,
Yes,
they do carry over?
they won't. What you'll find is right now, people aren't putting things in because they're not getting fixed. What we'll find is we'll be going, whoa, horses.
Right.
Because all of a sudden there's like, well, this thing needs fixed. I need this way. You get an email, somebody's got this. And all of a sudden, that 50 hours seems like a lot. It won't be a lot. It will be a lot. But I also didn't want to be, we didn't want to give you some crazy number because we just don't know. We just don't know exactly. And we want to be fair about it. We want to have discussions about it. And if we have to think about, so if you want to budget for A and only end up at B, that's great. I'd rather have it than the other way around. It's the old hero or jerk theory. I'd rather turn out to be the hero instead of being the jerk and being on that side of the coin.
Well, like you mentioned, we would definitely need like a screener to kind of triage issues and kind of watch the hours.
Yeah.
Who typically does that in your other counties that you work with?
Typically it's the auditor. Typically it's it. I mean, it really just is. They're the ones that kind of run that, and they're usually our main point of contact at both the other counties.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
one more thing.
Sorry, I apologize, but they're the ones usually most appropriate for that, and I think usually they have a point person to that, and a lot of times it's not necessarily the auditor, it's one of the deputy auditors that's running that and just saying, hey, we're at so many hours, let's be appropriate. Can something wait? Where it's June 30th, could it wait till the 2nd, and then we add the hours in, and we'll work, and then the folks in our office will also watch that very closely. And we'll let you know we can let you know what that is. Hey, we're getting close. What he wants to do, he wants to push some of this off. We have some other things we were getting ready to work on. They can maybe carry over till July because they're not mission critical. We were just going to use the hours appropriately to make sure that sometimes we may all of a sudden work 40 hours. We start cleaning some of the spaghetti up. May not get it all done, but we may get part of it done. You know, so just a different approach to it. Just a different approach you haven't done. Planning, budgeting, that's it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You guys have a awful job sometimes. Just do what else? Anybody else?
That onboarding fee, is that paid out once, or is that broken up over?
It's paid out. It's
It's
just
paid
paid
out.
out. Yeah.
What does that cover?
That covers, that's our fee. We're gonna be with every employee. Cause they've got to be brought on, their emails have got to, if there's an email change, all those got to be brought out into our system if need be. Making sure that they've got all the ticketing information, and then also just all the password changes and everything else that goes on with that, so.
And that's
Just getting one of
that's
those.
yearly?
One time.
Oh.
One time ever.
Okay,
That's a one time
Just
ever.
a startup.
well, it says annual invoice, so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought-
it's just a one time
Okay,
invoice,
okay,
one time invoice. But it needs to be part of your budget as you go forward.
yeah.
What else, Jack? Anything else? Sorry, Ed.
I'm good.
Said anything else?
What are we currently doing?
Well, it depends on what total what we figure, it was over 250,000 a year, but the contract is around 70.
Mhm.
Do we get an allotted number of hours now, or do we get billed for every hour?
It's allotted, but I'm not sure the hours.
there's no equipment figured in this. Like if we need new equipment, that's on us.
That would be on you.
Yeah.
We would work with you. We would give you the budget. Here's what the estimate is for it. If you, typically, equipment's silly anymore. I mean, it's all about microchips.
Yeah.
It's all about the chips and the data centers are sucking them all up. I mean, it's nuts. What we used to pay, what was one of the guys, well, we used to pay $350 for some RAM is now $1,300, same exact stick. Same, and you can't, and if you can even get it, we get it and hold on to it, it literally goes into a safe. It's like, it's more expensive than gold right now. We can't, and we'll buy all of it we can get, just to have it. We never know if we're not gonna be able to get it, and I got a client that needs it, I gotta have it. I gotta have it, whatever the cost is.
Are we allowed to buy our own equipment if we?
Sure. We can, and we can give you the recommendation, and if somebody wants to, it's not a problem. We do not get rich.
Yeah.
We do not,
Just ask.
so like, no, it is, and it's not selling equipment. Sometimes there's a better deal out there.
Yeah.
Just on the open market. And we just had, when I had some, we sell Canon copiers also. So the bigger commercial stuff like things you have, yeah, I can be competitive. We want in on that whenever that happens, of course, also down the road. But if you needed a Canon home printer or a smaller copier, there's a cut line at about $635 that you just go to Staples and get it. I have to buy them on the secondary market because our licensing deadline allows us to buy the commercial pieces. So you're better off sometimes.
Yeah.
And you can do that. And sometimes it's somebody's brother that works somewhere that can buy left. And that's great because that $20 that we're making off of it, love you. Please have it shipped to your house. But we will install it. We will onboard it. When you have employees that are leaving you, big deal. I mean, it's a big deal that their emails need to be stopped, that their information needs to be wiped off those computers. So not only is there onboarding on this, down there, we have to offboard all of the old company's information off of the computers also and put ours on. So it's not just as much just going and typing somebody's name. They'll spend some time with every employee in the county just running through that. Now, we're pretty good at it and we move pretty quick. But the offboarding committee is important to make sure they're still not using county email. So, and we want to do that, and I'm not sure where that is and how that works out, but we want to do that. We don't want your people doing it. We want to do that. That way it's done, and then we can give you confirmation that it has been done correctly. We think that's appropriate. What else, Kyle? Anything else? If you do my cards there, email me. Drop me an email and just say, hey, what's up? I need to know about this. Just let me know what's up, Jack, please, let me know, and you set that meeting up, and I'll be appropriate, and I'll be there in a heartbeat. We'll fix it up.
And you, because you need to vote,
Yeah.
that come out of our hours.
That's part of your onboarding. That's that onboarding fee, that one-time onboarding fee. It's all included within that. And if it takes us longer than that, it's on us. It always will. We try to be very frugal with that, the upfront dollars, but it's just a lot of time. You take on a whole county, it's a lot of time. Taking on a small engineering company, it's got 6 computers, couple hours, it's done. When you start talking about lots of employees, they take a little time. Anybody else? Jim, anything I haven't talked about? I'm good. Thank you all for your time. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. It's been an honor. Been a lot of fun. It really, and here's the thing, please don't let the spaghetti scare you to death, and don't feel special. We have never taken on a client that I didn't have a bowl of spaghetti somewhere. None. Zero. I haven't seen one. We were at the Muncie mission today. It was very interesting. But yeah, please call me and just let me know what I can do. And whenever you decide, just let me know and say, hey, we're not, the next thing, if you decide you're going to do that, you let me know. We'll put an agreement in your hands the same day. And you can sign it whenever you want. Whenever you sign it, those 10 hours start right away. And we will be probably on you pretty quick, because we want as much time as we can to learn about the environment. And time you get the next June, we want to be rolling. It's not, hey, we start in June and we're really probably rolling in August. No, county government doesn't work that way. You guys are working every day. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll sit down and shut up.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
John, you got anything?
Oh, yeah. Don't want to disappoint you.
It would be very disappointed.
Were you at work today, John?
No, sir.
You can't talk about that. Miss school, you don't get a call.
Does the 30 phone calls that I took?
Yeah, right.
Constitute, still on my time? Anyways, two things. Our underground storage tanks, we still cannot get a insurance company to pick us up after July. Mr. Lancaster has been working with, Smith Insurance along with myself and, nobody will pick us up. So we had a quote, for $374,000 something, odd dollars. You can probably look back and that amount. But anyways, after talking with IDEM, they asked me to let that, quote expire because they strongly recommend that we get 3 quotes to be eligible for any reimbursement cost of the decommissioning of the underground storage tanks. That's kind of one of their pet peeves, to get more quotes to be able to be eligible. So talking with the commissioners, we're gonna let that expire. It expires out this week. And then next week, we'll put it out for open bid, for the decommissioning of the underground storage tanks and, the above ground new tank. So basically, we gotta figure out where we're gonna come up with the money. Don't know exactly, but I'm gonna say it's in that 375 area. So this is,
So are the underground tanks leaking
no,
or?
they are not leaking. They are past their prime. They're 36 years old.
Sure.
So,
And you just can't find anybody to insure it.
correct.
So,
Yeah, no, they're monitored. Every night there's a monitor, there's a testing that does on them. And, they're inspected, every month by gasoline equipment. Then there is yearly test, pressure test on the lines. And then there's 3-year yearly or 3-year tests that go deeper into, all the stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we've been monitoring them for a long time. Gasoline equipment's done it ever since I've taken over.
and I take it they didn't have anybody to recommend to insure it.
The 375 cover.
That's, the decommissioning and a new tank. That's the 10, all the construction and everything that takes place out there. So you gotta take out the old tanks, fill the hole back in. But before you fill it back in, it's gotta be soil tested by environmentalists and inspected and that encompassed the whole ball of wax.
Then you're going with an above ground tank.
Going with an above ground tank, it'll be a double wall, dual tank. It'll be a 12,000 gallon tank, 8 for diesel, 4 for gas. And it'll be protected by the cement barriers, around it. It'll set in the middle or just offset of where the old tanks are, but still in that same area that we fuel in now. And then we'll be able to go both sides of it like we do now.
Are there a lot of companies that do decommissioning and all the work that we're gonna need done?
I don't know of a lot, but I know that there's at least 2. Because once I started figuring out that, hey, we're gonna have to have some temporary storage. So that's when I called Ag Best down in Muncie to see about getting some temporary tanks. So they started inquiring, why are you doing this? So I told him, he says, well, we'd love to give you a quote on being able to decommission it. So that's where this all started from.
Okay.
And then after I got response back from IDEM, then I had to go a little bit further.
Does Creek Run do that kind of work?
they may do some of the testing. I don't know who their subcontractor would be to come in once the tanks are dug out, cleaned and disposed of. It's possible they could be involved in it.
Would assume that they would do the decommissioning, but probably not the install.
Yeah, I think they do install, but.
I don't know. So maybe it's worth a phone call. I don't know.
So basically, I just need from you guys, guarantee that, you'll find the money. That's the biggest problem.
I guarantee we're gonna try really hard.
There's, two options. Once they tell me I can't put fuel in them, then we're done. I'll just park the trucks and we'll set.
Can't believe you can't find somebody to insure it.
The
Plenty
age,
of underground tanks.
the age is the problem. They're fiberglass tanks and they're 36 years old. They were installed back in late 1990, early 1991.
Do you have someone that will insure the above ground? Or is that what you're talking about?
Angela will be able to insure the above
I
ground
was, yeah, so,
because it'll be a brand new tank and it'll be all, it's double walled. It'll have its own sensors and everything, just like my below ground tanks have sensors for leak and all that. The above ground tank will have the same thing.
so what kind of time period are you talking about? When you start construction of the new above ground? That you
Probably
can shut
6
down the
months.
other 6 months?
Because the new tank, has a backlog on it of 3 to 4 months.
They have to have a 12,000. Tank. 12,000 gallon.
Well, the reason we want a bigger tank is that way I can buy a tanker load of diesel fuel at a time.
I say, what's your tank now?
2 10,000 gallon
Yeah,
tanks.
oh, you got 2 tanks, yeah.
And we don't use that much gasoline. I mean, the only thing we got gasoline wise is pickup trucks, so. We didn't feel like we needed that big of a tank
I
for
would say,
for
can you make
gasoline.
that a lesser gas tank?
No, that's the
Just
standard.
stand pack.
Yeah,
It's like 6,000 gallons on a diesel tank, isn't it? On a tanker, 6-ish.
yeah,
Give or
in that
take.
area a little bit, yeah.
No, I'm just saying 4,000 gallons of gas is gonna go bad before they use.
No, I never ordered that much in.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
the most I order in at one time with gasoline is 3,000.
gotcha.
And,
Don't get me wrong, you know what you're doing. I'm not questioning.
No,
So,
So my curiosity
I
is,
just,
you're willing to ask any questions. I don't have anything to hide.
about how many gallons of diesel do you go through in a year? Ballpark. That may not be a fair question, I'm just curious.
Probably close to 20.
20 a year.
Yeah, because looking back through my fuel log in my head, I know we've had several 6,000 gallon, drops at least twice, if not 3 times a year.
Okay.
Depending on the winter, you know,
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
if we're pushing snow, it's nothing to pull in there and use 400 or 500 gallon a day.
I do know.
Getting 3 bids gonna be an issue?
I don't think so. I hope not. AgVest said that they could at least ensure me they knew of 2 different, contractors, at least on the decommissioning, part of it, to satisfy IDEM. And if I get one through gasoline equipment, and if AgVest can find me 2 contractors that will at least bid on the decommissioning part of it. And then if I can get 2 bids for the above ground part, I feel like we'd be in a pretty good position.
You generally get a better deal on diesel and gas versus like just buying it at the pump.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because if you go around here, you're buying on-road diesel for trucks. And I use off-road diesel in all the trucks, but yeah, we pay the fuel tax. We pay the fuel tax 1 month and then get it back the next month. It's a screwed up system. So.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of paperwork for,
Yes.
we hand them money and then we get money back.
Yep.
you get your fuel for AgVest now, are you?
I take, whenever I need fuel, I call National Oil and AgVest and whoever's cheaper. I generally go with them, but more so towards the winter time. If they're close, I'll go with Ag Best Fuel. Less problems over my history of gelling up and, algae in the fuel during the winter time. At one time when they were getting it off of, J.A. Miller, we had a bad problem with that. And I even had the same problem at my home, fuel, getting algae in them. And no, I don't have it in my budget, which is kind of a surprise to me.
It's been 36 years.
I know.
So what happens in July?
I don't know.
And
I can't answer that.
because you're nowhere close to even being able to have it done by then, obviously.
I assume that if we have a problem, it's all on us. If we can't find anybody to pick us up for a short term. I've asked Angela to see if we can't pick somebody up just for 6 months, just till the end of the year.
Okay, so I gotta ask, Angela's the one just trying to shop around to find somebody to insure us?
Yeah, because that's who we,
Talk to anybody else?
that's
Okay.
who we currently have our insurance
Yeah.
with.
So worst case scenario, we can't completely empty the tanks, get a new tank and then work on decommissioning later.
No, sir.
Once.
It's possible, but I just, because wherever you set the new tank, then that's where I gotta set it.
So, okay, landscape's a problem.
Yes, huge problem. We are strapped out there. Unless you'd like to buy some land to the south of me, then we could add on. Then while we're asking, you can just build me my new shed out there before I retire. Just throwing options out there.
I like options. I appreciate the work you're putting in.
I mean, you don't have to have a final decision tonight, but you gotta understand that this has gotta be done. So,
And when do you think you get your quotes? Next couple weeks?
within the next.
What is it?
Yeah.
the money in that.
Yeah,
It's still around, yeah. We
1.4 million.
still have over 100. Plus the money back there. 2 or 3 years ago.
We did last year, yeah,
Last year.
yeah, and we did
I think it's
before.
more every year, don't we?
Yeah.
So I think.
And it does fit in with the criteria that we can spend regularly.
That I have not looked at truthfully. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Mhm.
Fuel pump for
Well, it's all for it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
It's. Ask is. Why the cops all pay at the pump for fuel, I assume. Would we not utilize that tank to do that also? Like, I know we build,
For the sheriff's department to
Yeah.
come out there?
like, if you're getting it for a cheaper rate, then what we can, I know it's not always exactly the same, or it may fluctuate both ways, depending on when you got the shipment of fuel, but
They used to.
To
When I first
utilize-
started on the sheriff's office, we
That's how
had
Monday
fuel
City
behind
does
the
utilize
city
the,
garage. There was a. tank.
So,
That's where you go.
being that said, there is an option that we can get a card reader for that pump to allow other people to use.
so we know who's getting what fuel, and that way we can actually charge it.
Yeah, Columbia City does that. They got one.
Yeah.
Couple big.
Randolph
tanks.
County, their sheriff's still up at the county barn. I do know that.
Well, I think it's something to look at. If you can get a card reader and you can have everybody,
Yeah,
everybody that was county.
If one
the
less,
card reader was not in my original quote
Right.
because I didn't feel like it
Well, he's
was
gonna need a bigger gas.
I was gonna say, how big was the gas tank? How big?
4,000 gallons.
4,000.
That's fine.
I mean, they can deliver
A
fuel.
4,000 gas tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8,000 diesel, 4,000 gas.
I would
Let
assume
me
it's
see.
a couple of day turnaround, 48-hour turnaround on fuel
When
delivery.
I order fuel,
Yeah,
sometimes the same day,
or same day, so
same day, next day. Yeah,
it's not like it's,
Well, I would get your quotes with the card reader.
yeah.
okay.
Let's look at it, look at options.
So how they,
Heads up over the year, so.
how do they do that though? Then the sheriff pay part of theirs?
Well, the carpenter would charge,
Would track
they would
who,
track who,
who used what
so
gas,
then yes, they would get a bill for gas.
but you
And it would
would
be
be
cheaper
paying,
for them.
I don't know
And
how-
all the other stuff.
I don't know how fuel's paid now for the sheriff's department. Is it all in like one credit account?
Mhm.
So it'd just be the same, really.
Yeah. It would just be,
You just put in your unit number and your officer number, or driver number, or however you do.
I would assume that he would pay the entire bill up front, and then the sheriff's department would pay him the month behind. I don't know,
But you'd
or
like,
whatever they use.
There's gotta be a very simple way to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Good point, Tom.
Try and,
Yeah.
try and utilize the tank the best we can. If,
if they can,
Maybe not, put it on the quote if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get an idea what we're looking
But
at.
like I said, I didn't feel like that I needed the carburetor for my crew.
no,
But if you want to look into that option,
Probably, you need like a pad out there. Or you just gonna do it on the gravel or,
well,
in a
it'll be on,
containment tank or container.
well, when you
Yeah.
pull up, do you need?
Concrete container.
he's asking, you need like
It's like a
a,
fueling island, dude.
oh, there'll be concrete on each side of the new tank. So yeah, it'll all be concreted.
So I would say we give you the blessing that
yeah,
we'll spend it. Most likely out of the rainy
I mean,
day.
verify rainy day, but I would say. Yeah, but yeah.
Plan B would be,
But it'd be, I mean, we could move some of the expense that's covered by rainy day and paying out on whatever.
there's nothing in your budget,
At least $12.38.
And then we're hoping that we can get some kind of reimbursement and something to write it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the only reimbursement that'll come through IDM is just half of the cost of what it takes to decommission the underground tanks. So they'll pay for the decommissioning of the underground tanks. The product to fill it back in, the hole back in, and if there was concrete on top, that can also be put in the quote or reimbursement of the concrete on top.
Is there concrete on top?
Yes, sir. Those are all things that I learned talking with IDM. After 3 or 4 days of phone tag.
then we also have some, money owed to us from fines. Or from, wind and solar,
Yeah, that's not even gonna
but it
crash
is,
to death.
but it is some, right? And we're
Yeah,
getting-
there is some, yeah.
And we are getting more,
Or we
right,
still
we increased the fee, the penalty, right?
Well, yeah, but I just gotta catch them and then we gotta get it coming in, but none of the other projects have started for that yet. And at $5,000 a truck, I doubt that they're gonna have very many trucks off route compared to the other.
I
ones.
agree, I agree. Yeah, I think we'll be able to find it. I don't think we have much of a choice, so.
Okay, the only other thing I have is I've put in our budget we put about 180,000 in our budget for a paver. We have been looking since December to try and find a paver in our budget. They're just not out there that are any quality or not just flat out wore out. We've been working with Brandeis to get a new paver, or not a brand new one, a newer paver, a little bit more money. Talking with him, they've got a 2023 model paver, doesn't have a lot of hours on it. The only kickback on it, it's about 381,000. I've got about 180 in the budget this year. If we decide to move forward with it, it'll be kind of like a lease to own. We'll pay the 180 this year, and then come budget time, I'll budget the other 200,000 in my budget, and then once January gets here and the new budget rolls over, then I'll pay the rest of it out of that. So I'm not really asking for additional money. I'm just kind of making you aware that that's about the only possibility that we have to get a different paper.
What's the one you found, how much?
381.
Can We got 180 in there now and
Yeah.
you're wanting to put 200.
I'll put 200 in the budget this summer.
We can encumber that, right? Lisa?
You won't have any money to encumber. Cause they'll spend 180,000.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for additional appropriations this year. I just put it in the budget for 27.
They're basically financing the 200 for next year.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically what it is, we're gonna pay, once we rent it, we're gonna pay 20,000 a month, but all that goes towards the purchase price. And then at the end of the year, what money I got left, I'll give to them, and then when the new budget rolls over, I'll give them the rest.
Right there's your storage tank unit. Instead of your paper.
Yeah, what do you want? More?
Do we, your paper map somewhere?
No,
Yeah.
no. We'll basically put it on, like Bidgery. It's a government approved, site to get rid of government equipment.
Yeah.
And
Get a couple thousand things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get enough to throw the new paper up once.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And
yeah. So as long as you guys are okay with me proceeding on with that paper and we'll budget it in next year. We haven't totally decided that we are gonna go with it because we haven't seen it, looked at it, anything like that, so. But we're in the process of it.
What kind of lifespan do they usually have?
Depends on how much you use them.
Yeah.
I mean, for what we do, it should last 10, 15 years. We only run about, between 2,000 and 2,400 ton through it a year. But with the option of a better paper, you know, we possibly could start doing some of our own hot mixing instead of hiring it out. So. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Warren?
Good evening. Ward Brown, Economic Development. I want to give you updates on two of the wind projects, RWE Phase 2. The Prairie Creek, you guys are aware of that. That's the tax abatement last meeting. We'll take that. They've asked to take the EDA to the commissioners at their next meeting here in June. Once that's done, then they want to bring that to you guys in July, for your July meeting. I will get you a copy of that as soon as we get it. We're almost done with it. You guys have seen just about the latest one. There's just a few things that were in there, and the county owes them some information. As soon as we get that done, I'll get that out to you guys to review. And then we'll go to BDPR, which is Taze River. Taze River is going to be everything you've seen except zero tax abatement. So there'll be no tax abatement, but nothing else will change. We get the full economic development payment. Good neighbor agreement, everything else will stay in place. That will go to the commissioners again in June at their next meeting. And then after that, I'll make sure that you guys get that approved copy just for your review. But it won't, that one will not come to you guys in your July meeting. There's no need for that, so I still will get that to you so that you can ask questions. I can answer anything you might have on it. Any questions?
I think so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Already everything? Committee reports, community corrections,
No report,
solid waste,
no report.
economic development, I imagine recovered.
I would assume so.
You don't have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add.
Blackford development? He's not here. LAPC. Financial reports, county general, ending cash balance as of May 2026. $1,972,223.61. Total expenditures for May 2026, $541,131.32, and total revenue for May 2026, $235,280.53. Additional appropriations, we have one from the sheriff's office.
And this is for the dispatch equipment that you approved.
I have a motion from Ryan Goodspeed to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Casey Dick with a second. Roll call vote, please.
Jim Weisman,
Aye.
Ryan Goodspeed.
Aye.
Casey Dick,
Aye.
Fred Toby, Kyle LaSheen,
Aye.
Jack Beckley.
Aye. Appropriation approved 6-0. No transfers.
Nothing out there.
Any public questions or comments? Nothing. Got a motion?
Got it.
Motion to adjourn, Kyle Sheehan, second for Casey Dick. All in favor? Meeting adjourned. 6-0.
There you go, friend.